welcome back. So this last week we've been working on the console. We started on the front section. We've got it all covered up and installed in the car at the moment. Then we turn this other light on.
Sure.
You can see here that we got it covered. We did a double French seam on it. We've got the firewall panels covered. We're gonna redo this one here after it was all installed and stuff. It's not fitting as tight as I want, so I'm gonna take this back out, retrim it, make it fit tighter. And then we've got our side panels in. I've got one of them out so you can see how this will allow for the access to all the wiring, and it will be held in with magnets also, just like this other side, and a slight press fit. So that's how that will go in there. I had the back section in, which is what we're currently getting started on, and we located, pre-fit it, kind of located where our seams will start, and that's kind of what we're working on now, is getting ready to make the panels, so cut out the patterns, I should say. We also got us a low car trim ring here. Cut the hole out a little bit bigger, and we'll be making a matching shifter boot to go in there for that. Then we'll still have one more piece, a final top piece. This is currently where we are at the moment. So here's the rear section of the console, and we've taped it off. This is where I'm not going to want glue. Well, this is actually to give me a nice straight edge. We've got our lineup marks here. I use a 16 gauge clear vinyl for most all of my pattern making, and this will line up like so. We'll lay this on top of our leather, get it all cut out. We'll do the same for this top piece, and then this side over here. Then we just line up our marks. So this also is going to get padded to match the front piece, and I use this 1/8 inch foam here. It's kind of a high density foam. It's used a lot in aircraft. So we will glue this on and have the sides also done. And then we'll sand it down a little bit where the seam will be, so that the seam won't be so thick and bulky. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. We're getting started on this. You'll see some of the sewing going on here in a little bit as we're doing that, and then we'll do a final fit. We'll get done on the padding here in a little bit also, and then we'll get it covered and hopefully in the car. So here we got it all sewn up. This is the front section. You can see the double stitching, top stitching. This will be up here at the very top where it rolls over into the package tray. One of the things that we do, or I do, I think most trimmers do it, is we'll come in as we're sewing and we'll hammer the seam down some, so it'll help lay flatter, and then trim off any of our major selvage on the back. So we got that sewn up. You can see here our lineup marks on the back, how we lined them up. That way everything follows together along the curves. And this is actually real deal leather. This whole interior's leather. It was leather that I bought from a company called Veterans Company out in California. So that's kind of where we are right now. We got to get started on the padding of the center console, the back section. We'll get that padded, then we'll do a Trek fit on this, and then we'll start gluing this up. This is the rear section of the center console that we've been working on. And we've had this thing in and out of the car multiple times, doing our fitment and alignment. But then we finally got it upholstered. We padded it with some of that gray 1/8 inch aircraft type foam. It's a high density memory type foam. Then we showed you earlier that we made the patterns, got all that sewn up, concentrating on trying to get our seams to line up with the previous piece that's in there. So we got all that done, and then used a heat gun. So what I did is I actually glued this and let the glue set overnight. It becomes pretty much dry to the feeling, but that allowed me to hang it, get it centered where I wanted it, follow my marks, and then I heated it with a heat gun, and that reactivates the glue. And then we made our inserts here, and this was basically a removable piece that's done in the perforated leather, and this allows me to get in here to, when the third piece, the top piece goes on, I can get in here and bolt it all together. So what we did here is I actually just took some masking tape, taped all this off, came in and made a template, put that on some cardboard, and then transferred that to some of this white plastic. This is 3/8 of an inch thick. And then we also came in and we did a step router on the back side to allow for the thickness of the leather. And then these will be a press fit piece. They'll go in there like so. Just reach up in there with a little pry tool if you ever need to take it out, and up in the top, pop it out. Then you can get in here to service anything through the existing holes. So that's kind of where we are. We made 2 of them, got both sides done. We're getting ready to install this, do a final check fit. I think it's going to be just fine. Bolt it in place, and then we've also, because of how this thing goes together, that's the last piece in. Well, second to the last. But we already have these other pieces installed now that we have, and we have to bolt those in through the inside, so those have to go in first. So we got those. We'll set that third piece in here. It'll go down in there. We'll bolt it all in. And then there's a final top piece that's about 5 feet or 4 feet long. Goes over that. Once all that's in place, then we'll do our final fit on the package tray, which we already have pre-made. But we'll do a final fit around the rear curve section up against the back glass. And then we'll put the back glass in it, cover that, and then put it in. So that's kind of where we are on the interior. We still have the inside garnish moldings that have to be done, and they all have to have a little welding on those, on the quarter ones. We got those to go, and then the front seats, and then pretty much the interior, the inside's done. Then we'll get started on the concentrating on the trunk. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So we have it sitting in place here, and you can kind of see it fits nice, pretty decent gap. These are still not 100% tight back here. I won't tighten these up completely until the package tray's in, so that we can tighten the two together and give us a consistent gap. And then the package tray's kind of thick, so it'll fill up all of this right here. So this console, the base of this console was originally manufactured by the shop that was building the car, and so we just worked with what we had. We did add to it and cut it up a little bit, but the design and the overall design and concept was pre-done before we ever got the project. So then this other piece that goes on here, let me grab it right quick. This is the third or the final piece to the center console, and again, this was pre-made. We did modify the door. They originally had this door where it hinged back here and it just opened up like anybody else's. And what we've done, I'll show you here in a second after we set this in place. So this is actually going to go and we'll have to trim it, and that's what we're getting ready to start fitting, is the final fit of it. I may not have that slotted enough. in that leather. So we will trim all of this to fit our gap nice and tight. That'll get sucked down. It'll just clear when it's all said and done and permanently in place. It'll just clear our shifter boot. But what we did is we modified the door, made a new door. This is actually going to screw to this piece, come back. We got to fine tune all that. That's just preliminary. So that'll go like so. Then when it's closed, it'll come up here, fall down, and then this will sit in there like so. So this is the next step in this console that we're going to work with and get all that final fit to the existing console. This piece will probably get hard wrapped. I doubt it'll get padded. We may pad the sides. That's kind of where we are temporarily on this. We've got the console assembled. We're down to doing some final fit on the top piece and also final fit on the package tray. And then we'll get all those covered. And then in the rear window and windshield in. And then it'll be onto the seats. So that's what we got so far for this week. I want to thank y'all, and we really do appreciate y'all watching our channel and the support that we get. And also I just wanted to touch base. This past weekend we did host have an open house for the American Welding Society, the North Texas American Welding Society. So I wanted to just give a shout out to them. We really appreciated having them join us and showing them around the shop, and had a couple of manufacturers that were here doing some representations of their products. And again, thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.